He's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too.
What is a tugboat, and why is it called that? To fully understand, we need to dig a little deeper. So I enlisted the help of James to find out the fascinating history behind the name. It's called a tugboat because it tugs or pulls other vessels. Okay, thanks, James. Great. What else can we find? Yes, www.tugboatinformation.com. Now, despite my numerous attempts to hack into the mainframe, all we have access to is every single tugboat in the world, its name, a picture of it, when it was last sold, its hold depth, its previous vessel names, and owners, and like a bunch of other stuff. But then I asked myself, how does this get me any closer to finding a tugboat and learning about it in the game I love to play? And why do I care about any sort of real-life implications of this fascinating marine staple when I already spend 20 hours a day on my fictional tugboat, diligently maintaining its security and protecting it from swaths of naked pistoliers? Here's where you can find the tugboat with the new changes to the harbor. Do you like those little animations I did? Pretty cool. The tugboat has 3,000 hit points, and you can repair it with a hammer if you have wood and metal frags in your inventory, but you need 30 seconds of no damage to repair, as is customary in Rust. If you want to destroy it, here's what it's going to take, but good luck. Sometimes the water gets choppy out there, and you blow up your own ship with a rocket by accident. When a big wave comes in, it just like nicks the metal part of the boat and kill your entire squad, and it's never happened to me, but I'm just saying hypothetically that is a situation that could happen. So, tugboats will decay 36 hours after spawning into the game. This decay timer will reset if the boat is interacted with by any player, in which its decay timer is delayed for an additional 24 hours from the point in time of the interaction. And it's worth noting, if you build a base for it, it decays the slowdown just pretty significantly like other vehicles. A couple other housekeeping notes. When it goes down, you can't repair it. You can't build in the traditional sense anywhere on it. You can't place turrets on it. You can land a mini copter on it, but it's the worst. It's really buggy, and if you value your mini copter, I wouldn't do it. When it does go down, bless her soul, you can still loot, interact, and take whatever you can from her for 2 hours before it disappears. Keep in mind, if your server has specific rules, which not many do, but some do, these could have changed, so look out for that in the server rules, especially before you plan your life around being a tugboater. Okay. Now, what can I put in this behemoth? I'll include this list in the description with links to the items, as well as, any other stuff I put in here if anyone's curious. Keep in mind when placing these items, there are quite a few 100% no place zones, such as stairwells and just outside the wheelhouse. Now that we know what she's capable of, if you're lucky enough to find yourself cozied up in the underbelly of a tugger, what does a build look like inside it? Lucky for you, I've got you covered. Check it out. So first, you got your tugboat, right? You got your doors on it. A couple things to note about the tugboat kind of before we go into it are you can see inside. That's something that I think they changed. I don't think you used to be able to see inside, but you can see inside. More on that later. You want your door to go in because we're going to use this as kind of a faux airlock. To make sure that if we do open our door and we get killed, obviously in front of our airlock, that we're okay still. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a tier 3 workbench. We're going to flip it around and we're going to line it up as close to this door as possible. And I mean as close, because this build is it's a game of inches. You definitely it's nice to be able to move around here. You can make it pretty tight so that you're forcing yourself to jump crouch the whole way, but that can be frustrating. So we don't want to do that. So now that we have that there, it's guarding that essentially, we're gonna throw a locker. The way I like to do it is I'll line it up on this little grate right here. You can also do it by the window if you'd like, but I like a little extra, a little leg room. Never hurt anybody. I don't think it matters, to be honest, but that looks pretty good. Mess around with it so you feel good about it. So basically what this does is right? You've created a little door so that people can't, you know, just come in whenever they want. And so you have an airlock, and everybody knows a good rust base is nothing without an airlock. It keeps saying I have a code lock, but I don't see a code lock. You're gonna want to throw a code lock on this, obviously. That way people can't get into it. But that is gonna effectively seal us in our base. Like this, you know, you get some cheesy spots. It's kind of pretty possible to die as well, so be careful with that one. All right. So this is gonna allow us to basically put, you know, all of our workbenches, as well as I think we'll put our level 1 in the middle. That makes the most sense. And we can put our 3 or our 2 here. You gotta be careful with the 2 because it kind of like sticks out a little bit more than the others. So I do like to make sure I look from this angle and then make sure, you know, it's kind of tough with the like boat. Can moving around the whole time. But anyway, we got a good little seal here, good little line. Gives us access to three workbenches if you want to use it, or you know, you can use something similar if you're not into it. This also kind of allows you to throw a couple storages down. I think when you're trying to build a space that's maximized like this, you want as many storage opportunities as possible. I'm fairly certain that you can make this work. Or maybe you can't, I don't know. You can't put 2 here, so we're just gonna put 1 nice and snug there. But anyway, so we've got a little storage there. Basically, what we want to do is just create the essentials, right? So we want storage, we want probably some smelting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some large storage down, just so I can kind of highlight what you're capable of doing here. And like, if you don't need a tier 2 or don't need a tier 1 or whatever, obviously this is all kind of customizable in a way. I might have to move these in a little bit, depending on how much space we have here, but we'll check it out. So anyway, we got some storage here. We're gonna want to place our furnaces kind of with as much space as possible without giving anybody access to it outside, obviously. But I think you're able to get a lot more furnaces in here than you might think. 5 or 6 furnaces, I think that's pretty heavy in terms of furnaces in general. So like I said, this is just an example. Feel free to customize this base as you see fit. Another option that you have if you're really hurting on storage is like you can obviously throw some storage down here. Kind of just lets you take advantage of the space even more. You throw another large storage there. You can still reach here. I think the only way to reach these now is from the back, which is fine. What I like to do personally is I'll grab another set of lockers here so I can kind of create another kind of barrier. Probably would turn that around in a perfect world, but I like to do that. So it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. Creates a little pathway for us here. Then we throw a little more storage. Should be able to fit 1 more. If you want a little bit of extra space for some furnace shenanigans, you've got that. Very important part of this that shouldn't be overlooked is spawning here. So we definitely want our beds here. This also kind of allows you to have 2 people, right? If you get a party of 2. So as I write this, as I record this video, you can see in through the portholes, which is a problem. Also gives you that added comfort, but you can't see out them, obviously. They're not terribly useful if someone's here. You kind of you could hear where they are anyway. You can also throw some other bear rugs, but anyway, so putting these bear rugs obviously has more purpose than just the aesthetics. With the rug on the side, I can't remember if you could fit one here. Maybe now. I'm sure you could optimize this in some way, but anyway, you do get comfort from these bear rugs, from the furnaces being on, from the rugs on the side, obviously. So it is kind of nice. So yeah, it's just a simple tugboat layout that you can use. Anyway, that's what's going on in our tugboat, and no one knows. Nobody knows. All right. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this purely educational video on the tugboat in Rust. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more like it, please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.
Likes to do the things that friendly tugboats do.